interpretation or mirror interpretation to trova. I'm so happy to have you here, guys. I'm so happy. We had a great live this morning. It's Saturday morning, and I am recording a video called consent form for rapid antigen testing. This is the form. I'm gonna explain you a little bit about the process. This is a registration form, and it's for antigen test. If you want to have the fast test, the one that they do through the nose, it's the cheapest one. In Mexico, it's about $30, which I did last week. So, and this is only a model. So each hospital, pharmacy, or facility create their own form based on this one, because here on the top it says this model consent and registration form is provided by MDHHS as a treatment for schools to consider when creating a consent form for their participations. I choose this form not because it's for school, but because it include most of it. And when you do it on the clinic in the airport, it's very similar. So I'm gonna just paraphrase it and read what is the consent form, and I will share how it's like to do COVID antigen testing. So the moment that you go to the lab, you have to fill this form, and the form includes your name. The facility address is normally in the form, so you don't have to fill it. Their phone number, ID, building number, testing date, and there is test type. So most of the clinics have the fast antigen, the lab antigen, and the most, goodness, how it's called? It's it's the lab test that takes few days to come out. It's on the blood. So I don't remember it right now. You can laugh, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the lab test, which is called the CPR or something. I don't remember. I know that it costs about $300 here in America. Then you fill your personal information: first, last name, date of birth, address, city, zip code, phone number. You're male, female, or you don't want to answer. Please check the box, describe your race, and we have American, Indian, Alaskan, Black, African, Asian, White, Caucasian, Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, one or more other, decline to answer. Hispanic or Latino, yes. Not Hispanic or Latino, decline to specify. Arab, Middle Eastern is Arab, not Arab or Middle Eastern, doesn't wanna answer. Normally, I don't know why they ask about the race, but the same thing happens in Mexico and in other countries where I travel. And registration and consent form, first, last name, your date of birth, and if you're in the airport, they ask you to full information like, I have it somewhere there, but is your birthday, your country of residence on the consent form. If it's school, they ask you for the school ID, date of birth, and the name of the school. And this is what the consent form for antigen testing sounds like. I understand that the COVID-19 testing will be conducted through the antigen Binax now, or whatever is the test you're gonna do. Some do nose, some do swab mouth and nose, and then you can do blood, which is the lab one. Depends. So just the nose is the rapid one. And other acceptable tests are as ordered by authorized medical provider or public health official, or if you go to a clinic, you acknowledge that you allow them to do the test on you like any other consent form. I understand that I am not creating a patient relationship with the ordering physician by participating in this testing. This is very important, guys, because some clinic provide only the test and they don't provide no cure, especially if you're traveling. It's good to know that you don't become their patient. They just, you pay for the test, you pay for them to test you and send you the results, and period. I understand that the entity performing the test is not acting as my medical provider. Very important, guys. Testing does not replace treatment by medical provider. I assume complete and full responsibility to take appropriate action with regards to my test results and my medical care. I agree I will seek medical advice, care, and treatment from my medical provider or other healthcare entity if I have questions or concern, or I develop symptoms of COVID-19 or my conditions worsen or get worse, right? I understand that it's my responsibility to inform healthcare providers of a positive test results, and that a copy will not be sent to my health. Okay, so this part here that said copy will not be sent to my healthcare provider. So when you're at the airport or any other country and you do the test, you can receive it on electronical form, which they send you through email, or you can return to the lab and they will give it to you within about 20 to 30 minutes. So they are not gonna send it to your doctor, to the primary care physician. Normally the test is done for specific reasons, if it's travel or if it's school or so and so on. So this is very important here. I understand that my antigen test result will be available within 15 to 30 minutes. If the result is positive, okay, I got it. I will need to be confirmed with the PCR test. Okay, the PCR is the one that they do on the blood in the lab. Also, as I was suspected, they give me in March, I think, last year, they suspected that I had COVID and I had to do X-ray on my lungs, and it was clear. So if the swab is negative and the PCR is negative, some of them want to make sure and do the lung test, or you can just do the lung test and make sure it's negative. Depends, right? But the PCR is the lab that is most expensive. So we have the rapid antigen, the regular antigen 24 hours, and the PCR test, correct? I understand and acknowledge that a positive antigen test result is an indication that I need to self-isolate to avoid infection others until I obtain negative PCR test result. This is one of the rules to travel internationally as well. The period of self-isolation in Europe, it was 14 days, then it dropped to 10. But they were able to discover that after 5 days, a person will have a positive test and is not contagious to others. So it dropped to 5, and was like last month, and this is when I stopped working for Europe. So if you're working for Europe, you can write your comment below. I have informed of the test purpose, procedures, and potential risks and benefits. I will have an opportunity to ask questions before proceeding with COVID-19 diagnostic test at the testing site. I understand and I do not wish to continue with the COVID diagnostic test, or I may decline the test. If I decide to test, I may be unable to participate in certain activities such as athletic procedure or competitions. So some of the schools ask people to do tests in order to visit. So if you have, but the truth is, what is the paradigm here, or the funny thing is that all the players are negative and somebody gets sick, so they still don't know much about it. I understand that I may withdraw my consent to participate in testing at any time. Of course, this is their rights, and then authorization to do the test for COVID-19. I understand and I agree to undergo to the COVID-19 antigen testing for the duration of the testing period. I authorized if it's a child or the testing person, patient, legal guardians, and so on. This is how the tests go. I will tell you, I did the Antigen Rapid test at the airport in Mexico. I think it was American lab on the airport, and it was pretty professional. I filled this form similar to this one, and I went and I did the test, and I was nervous, even though I didn't have no symptoms. You know, when you do tests and you know, oh my gosh, if it's positive, I cannot go home. I was afraid I'm not gonna be able to come back to USA. So the test come very fast, very polite. It was negative. That's why I'm back home. That's why I'm recording these videos. And thank you guys for being here, liking, sharing, subscribing. That was how my experience was with antigen COVID test. Thank you for being here and have a good day. Bye bye.